Those are the differences between a national issue that we can control and a global issue that we can't control here locally, and something that we cannot control locally on a national and state level.
So our next question, starting with Tom. What do you see as another issue impacting South Palm Park and the larger sense Lake Worth, and what specific steps would you take to address that issue?
Nice and broad, huh? Okay, so in my end of South Palm Park, again, 16 block on the east side of South Palm Park, it's my understanding that we haven't had a sitting commissioner from the end of District 4 on my end in about 20 or 25 years. One of the things, sitting commissioner, I said, one of the things that's interesting to me, and this is what really excites me about being a commissioner. So I love the idea of the low-hanging fruit, okay? One of my favorite parts of this entire campaign has been getting out into neighborhoods and talking with people and hearing about what your issues are. So let me give you an example of this. I was, the first neighborhood that we went into was Pineapple Beach. And we went right to the south end of Pineapple Beach. We started there, we moved our way forward. One of the interesting things that I heard was somebody said, oh yeah, I've got a problem. It's right there in that apartment right there, 14C. There's a guy that lives there that's saying da-da-da-da-da, and he's the only problem there. What I want to be able to do as your commissioners, take those things and act on those things. Those are things that your commissioners should be privy to and should be able to make a phone call and see if they can get that addressed. So that's what I look forward to. Thanks.
I said this at the Playhouse. I thought PBSO and the city's done a pretty good job for us here in South Palm Park. We've got a pretty great neighborhood association, and we've petitioned for things, whether it's the benches in the park and the walkways and the handicap stuff. They've done pretty good with that. But what we really need is going back to what we were talking about with Federal Highway, the proper development along Federal Highway. And I agree with Herman. We don't want heights so high that it's a canyon that we're coming through and we feel like we're in Midtown Manhattan. I think the charm of the townhouses and rows of those, that gives us good community. Those are people that are coming in, doing good business. We talk about displacing those who are doing bad business with those who are doing good business. And that's one way. It's an entranceway to the city. Michelle and I talk about it all the time. Wouldn't it be great to have something that looks like this all up and down the Federal Highway, mixed in with some of the historic homes that are there? That's probably the best way for us. And that develops the city as well. South Palm Park, we don't let those guys in our neighborhood association, by the way, that are on the east side of Federal Highway. But except for Robert on the corner of 8th and Federal. But that would really clean up our neighborhood a whole lot.
South Palm Park is obviously one of the premier neighborhoods in the city. I'm proud to have it be in District 4. The fact is that the commissioners represent the city and come from a district, but to have somebody as a candidate recognizing that didn't recognize that there was a community center in the city, I don't think that was reaching out beyond a parochial interest in being the south end of South Park. So I truly believe that I am a representative of the city and for the city. So I definitely think that South Palm Park's issues are important, but you have to recognize that, like I said before, if I don't know a call, complain, nothing changes.
I think that the problems that South Palm Park has to do with the zoning code. Even like the prostitution, that's a long-term redevelopment issue. We already have more deputies per person than any other area that PBSO services. So long-term, what we need is redevelopment, and that problem lies with the zoning code. It is much too complex. What you can do with a property is too unpredictable, and unpredictability is the enemy of capital, and you need capital to invest in these properties, right? And so what I would do is, again, I would simplify the zoning code significantly. I would stop destroying value by limiting the buildable square footage on the property, whether that's through extremely large setback requirements, whether that's through extremely small allowances for floor to area ratio, which is FAR, which is the literal square footage of a building, whether that's the unpredictable process of the sustainable bonus incentive program, where you begin understanding that this is what I can get on the property, but after you have 3 or 4 conversations with staff, you understand that you can get this much more. That's not a very good process, and that's the problem that you have. Okay, and so that's what I have been focusing on. I recognize that I'm one commissioner, but that's what I will continue to focus on. Thank you.
There's a few things to choose from, but I think the biggest one, the umbrella of them all, is that we lack a community vision. There's actually processes out there where progressive communities bring together the stakeholders and residents to create a vision for their city. What do we want to be? Do we want to be a blue city? Do we want to be a green city? Do we want to be an arts city, or is that just a part of who we want to be? We have to have that picture. Now, we have a comprehensive plan, but a comprehensive plan is a technical document created for the state of Florida. What we do is we hand our vision to the staff members who actually want this, by the way, and they then create the comprehensive plan, the LDRs, the zoning. They create it in accordance with our vision for Lake Worth, so that we're not subject to developers, again, who want cheap access to 95 and West Palm Beach, or nonprofits who want us to house all of the county's homeless without providing them any backup or any social services along with that. So we're very vulnerable. We need a vision. When we have that vision, the right developers will come, the right residents will come. Thank you.
The city has several underutilized assets, 2 of them being the visitors dock at Snook Island, Bryant Park's Band Shell. What would you do to capitalize on those assets?
Well, the Bryant Park Band Shell, you have to realize when it was built, the bridge wasn't there. The bridge was a little flatter, and Lake Lucerne were not split. It was one road, went past the Gulf Stream and around, so it's a much larger green space where the band shell was at that time. And as far as the Snook Islands go, if you take your kayak and you drop it off, first of all, you have to go over the bridge, turn around, come back, take the little loopy thing, drop off your kayak, then go park your car. Luckily, maybe if you're lucky, your kayak will be there when you get back, or you have to go park your car and then schlep your kayak to the boat ramp and to the kayak launch. So it's a situation it's logistics, and it's where do you park, right? It was a good idea, but it just wasn't really well thought out. And I think that's why it's not being used. It's just not easily accessible as it should be. Now, if we rebuild the golf course and put the clubhouse down there, and that parking lot can serve to do both of those things. But that's a different conversation for a different time.
The docks were put in by the county, and so consequently, the excuse from staff is that we have to work with the county to set a policy, and it's another underutilized asset that is a frustration to me. The docks should be used, and the staff should create a policy to implement paying to use the docks. Nothing is free. Downtown parking is a parking garage has to be an income generator, and the docks should be as well. Otherwise, we won't have control of them. We just can't use them. It's another goal of mine to create a policy to use those docks.
I think the band shell needs a facelift. I don't think it takes much thought to say that the band shell needs some paint. It potentially needs an architect to see how can we redesign this. Maybe we can turn it into an amphitheater. I haven't, frankly, spent much time thinking about the band shell. I've been spending more time thinking about the downtown, the Dixie Highway, and South Harbor Highway, and crime and issues like that. As far as the docks go, I think one way to activate it, frankly, would be, and this might sound a little interesting, but you have the C-51 canal, right? So for example, there are lots of boat owners in Lake Clark Shores that live west of the spillway that cannot get from Lake Clark Shores into the intracoastal, that cannot access our docks, right? And we've been working on this for a long time, creating basically a boat lift to get these boaters from the other side of the spillway to the saltwater, which will basically increase the property values of, for example, Vernon Heights and city-owned property up there. It will also create an opportunity for boaters to come down from Lake Clark Shores and enjoy this area. We actually already got an over $100,000 legislative appropriation to design it. It's already been designed. We need to get it funded. We should go to the legislature and ask for it. Thank you.
I agree that the band shell needs some paint. I don't know about a revitalization. I think it's beautiful, and I love it when I go there and they have concerts. Or there was the White Party was at the band shell. I don't worry about that one too much, but I do think that there's been some ideas as far as the dogs are concerned. I know that the Sailing Club had some issues there. I know some people had suggested that we actually have. I'm not a boater, so forgive me, but kayak walkers. It was one of the ideas proposed at one point in time. So I think that we need to be more. I think that we need to be more friendly with our sailors and with our kayakers. We can actually invite different groups out and have competitions. I know that some of the high schools actually do have sailing clubs. Of course, not Lakewood High, but some of the ones in the areas do have sailing clubs, and so we can do things like that. Thank you.
Like Commissioner Hardy, I too have not spent a whole lot of time thinking about the band shell. I will give a nod to Wes Lockman though, because I think he said it best when he said that Bryant Park is a park. It is an open green space. It doesn't cost us very much to operate. We don't necessarily need to be making money off of it. It is a public amenity. It's a nice, big, beautiful green space. As far as the waterways are concerned, that's absolutely Army Corps of Engineers. That is the county. Those are county projects. Lake Island is a county project, like Commissioner Robinson said, as well as our docks as well. You know, one of the interesting things about a waterway is that we have a giant seawall running alongside Bryant Park, and then we have boaters that we know come from Boynton Beach, coming through Lake Worth, and they just keep on going. So why they're not stopping and coming to us, I don't know if it's a marketing problem, I don't know if it's a problem with getting the word out there, I don't know if it's a problem of just not having the appropriations or funding for it, as Commissioner Hardy said. But I think that we could solve this problem with a comprehensive park and recs plan, which is something that has been floated for a number of years that hasn't happened, and open this up to the community to find out what we might be able to do there. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end of the question answer session. Thank you very much for all your excellent comments. Now we're going to have closing remarks, and we'll start with Herman, so we keep the line going. 1 minute for closing remarks.
1 minute. Really good questions. Good conversation. Thank you. I think it's very important that you listen to the answers, not necessarily how they were presented. I'm not the best salesman in the world, but my answers are direct and not in. You need to consider the answers. This is important, and I want to continue to serve. I'm proud to be honored and endorsed by Congresswoman Lois Frankel, State Senator Bobby Powell, State Senator Laurie Berman, Palm Beach County Mayor Mac Bernard, Palm Beach County School Board Member Erica Whitfield, Human Rights Council City Commissioner Andy Amoroso, and Omari Hardy. My priorities are obviously the pool in the casino, downtown, and schools.
I just want to say thank you again for coming out here and participating in what we're doing here. It's very important that you're doing that, and I hope you go out and spread the word to your neighbors. Again, I'm running for re-election because I think that we've done a lot already in such a short period of time. Some people have said, oh, the mayor might have walked out of a meeting, the doors have been slammed, but the fact is, people aren't walking out of meetings when the crime rate's down 27%. People aren't walking out of meetings when, for example, the road bond is coming in under budget by $5 million and when it's coming in ahead of schedule. The fact is, we've approved project after project after project in the city, and in a lot of cases, we've done so unanimously. So I wouldn't believe all the campaign rhetoric that you hear. What I would do is just look at the results. The proof is in the pudding. The city is going in the right direction, and that's why I'm asking for your vote, because I've had a say and a significant decision-making say in what we've done here. I'm proud also to be endorsed by State Senator Lloyd Berman, by current County Mayor Matt Bernard, by current County Vice Mayor Commissioner Kerner, by former County Mayor Melissa McKinley, and I would really, really love to continue serving for another 3 years. I appreciate you coming. Thank you.
So I want to thank you again for hosting this, as well as all of you for being here. Again, I have 28 years of business experience negotiating contracts and working with people and helping clients achieve their goals. I believe in representative government. I want to amplify your voice on the dais. I want to bring fiscal responsibility and transparency to our city government. I need your vote. I need your support. I have signs, I have flyers. I hope you'll come out and do that. Again, it's March 12th, 2019 in Kathy Turk. Thank you.
So, thank you all for coming out here tonight. Thank you to South Palm Park. But really, actually, I genuinely want to say thank you to all of my commissioners and candidates as well, because one thing I've learned is that this is a grueling process. This is a lot of work to be on this campaign trail, and I commend and recommend I commend all of you. My campaign is one about vision. My campaign is about opportunity. My campaign is about leaving the past behind, leaving history behind. And if we want to be focused on building the next decade of excellence for the city of Lake Worth, then we've got to let all that go. Since we're throwing out endorsements, one of the things that just came down recently was I was endorsed by the IAFF. These are our local firefighters and paramedics. And the way that this endorsement came about was because I went into the screening and I laid out the problems for the city of Lake Worth and our opportunities, and then I connected them with visioning and planning. And that is what really connected with them. So I'm proud of that endorsement. I'm looking for your vote. I'm looking for you to take a chance. Let's build this future together. Join me. Vote me as your city commissioner for District 4. Let's do this together. Thank you very much.
I got my first endorsement today, and it was a local one. It was the chair of the Finance Advisory Board, Ben Ellis, who came out today and said, I'm supporting you and I'm doing it publicly. I think that speaks volumes of my experience and what I have here. We can't take a chance now. Right now, we have the opportunity to grab it and take it and make it happen the right way. We have challenges financially and structurally, and I have proven myself to be able to get in there with senior city staff and do the work and do the hard work and gain their respect and understand what they're doing and help to guide that way. As a member of the city commission, that means member of running the city. I don't want to be, and no offense to anyone who does this, I don't want to be the liaison to the League of Cities or to anything like that. I want to be the liaison to our operating units, because that's what I did as the chair of the FAB, and that's what I want to do here. I think that's what the city commission is lacking right now, is someone that understands our operating units from the core the way I do. The answers are correct too, but experience and proven experience is also true. I'm looking for your vote too. I'm Richard, you know that.
Thank you, candidates. Thank you, audience, for being well behaved. Thanks a lot. And thanks to Beach Club and all your servers.